Part of what I wanted to say, I couldn't deliver. I didn't know anyway.
Such a bittersweet taste, such a perfect waste. Oh, hiding in the back of my conscious state.
We stand on the precipice of history. Our teams have been working with some of the country's top scientists.
We need proper assurances about these nanocells, Dr. Tennant.
Why should we continue to bankroll someone so young?
All I can ask is that you trust me.
Hello, I'm Sophia Jessica, and welcome to the Fan Carpet.
It's wonderful to have you here with us this evening, or morning for you. First off, if we go back to the beginning, was there a defining moment for you to get into the film industry?
Getting into the film industry? I mean, I grew up in a really small town on the west coast of Vancouver Island, and my dad he's retired now, but he was a producer and a writer, and so he was kind of in the industry, but it was never like, I wasn't like going on sets. I didn't have like the dad who was like pushing me to get an agent. He was just like, do your studies and participate in dance and extracurricular and stuff. So I got really involved with our drama program in school and improv particularly. And that's kind of where it started. And then I graduated high school and I moved to Vancouver, and then I moved to Toronto and I got an agent and I just started auditioning. And I think it was a really hard beginning, as I think it is for a lot of actors or a lot of people in any profession. You start off and you don't have a lot of confidence because you don't really have the skills yet. And so it's always like a kind of a rocky start, or at least it was for me, finding my footing and just feeling like confident as an actor. And that just took taking classes. But I think the first thing I really booked, was this movie called Antisocial. And it's just like it's weirdly a similar kind of plot as the Complex, which is kind of interesting. It was about this like Facebook update that everyone in the world gets, like a social media virus, and it sort of changes your brain chemistry and it turns people sort of zombie-like. And my character in the beginning gets broken up with, and so she deletes all of her social media so she doesn't get the update and she doesn't have to turn. And it's a horror movie. So anyways, that was probably, it's a small, like low budget Canadian horror movie. It did a bunch of film festivals and stuff, but that was like the first thing that I booked where I felt like, okay, like this is what I want to do. And, things are starting to like go in the right direction. And I was getting some really lovely feedback and got to work with some really nice people. And I just had a great time. And that was kind of the start of my like infatuation with the film industry,
Wonderful. That's awesome. Now the complex has just been released. I played it through last night. I unlocked six achievements, so I know there's more stories to tell.
Yes.
How did you first get involved with the film, and what can you tell us about your involvement in the production?
Yeah, so I play Dr. Amy Tenant, and she is the protagonist, I guess, the lead of this movie. There's a few leads, but she kind of starts it off, and she's the one who has created this technology that ends up in the wrong hands, and then it's up to you guys to figure out how that all plays out. But I shot a pilot called The Machine, I want to say 2017, I think, early 2017 in Toronto. And the producer John, he and I met on that set, and I didn't have like a huge role or anything, but I had like a really intense scene, and it was like I was in full prosthetics. It was a science fiction project, and yeah, it was just like a crazy, really great experience. And then fast forward to years later when we got the call that John had put me forward had thought of me to be in this role, which was like, I was kind of like, it was a little bit out of the blue and super complimentary and like lovely. And I was really so excited because I had such a good experience on the machine. And then I got on a phone call with Paul, our director, and we started talking about it. We hit it off. And we had like the same idea of how we wanted her to be. And it seemed like a good connection. And I read the script, which was like an over 200-page script because there are so many different outcomes and so many different scenarios. So I initially felt overwhelmed, but at the same time, like pretty excited because I'd never been a part of anything like this, especially, I mean, not only it's like an interactive film, but just anything in the gaming world is kind of new to me. So yeah, it was just, it was an exciting opportunity and challenge. I've never worked anywhere in Europe. So that was also kind of like a cool bucket list thing. And yeah, and I was just like really excited to go and give it a shot. And yeah, it was like it was the most intense 5-week filming experience of my life, for sure. Yeah.
Just a 5-week shoot. That must have been really difficult to try and keep everything straight. Like, which scenario are we filming at the moment?
Exactly. That was the biggest challenge because, you know, and because we had restrictions time-wise, we would have to shoot like, okay, so like this scene, and then we're going to shoot out this scenario, and then let's jump back and say they pick, you know, a totally different scenario with a different relationship. And so it was kind of like an emotional roller coaster for all of us as actors to kind of switch back and forth in between, okay, in this scene, I really hate this person, and then like cut, okay, so now we have to play out the scene where you love this person or you're indifferent to this person or whatever it is. So it was kind of like a crazy acting exercise, I think, for all of us to be able to just like flip in and out of different emotional states. And again, because we didn't have like 8 months to film this thing, you know, we had like a few takes and then we had to keep it moving because we had so much to get through. So it was difficult. Thank God Paul is like the most organized human being I've ever met in my life. And he had like created a map for all of us to like study and understand kind of where things were going. And he was just so generous and like lovely about making sure that he would check in with us and see where we were at and see if we needed to kind of like debrief and, you know, take a minute to get into where we were at so that it would be, you know, an authentic performance. But yeah, it was a challenge.
Brilliant. Yeah, when I spoke to him last week, he's very complimentary of you. When we spoke, and you're like, I've only played through the once so far. I'm planning on going back to it multiple times because there's so much replay value to the complex. It's incredible. I'm not a gamer myself, but but when I downloaded Steam and like the film last night to play it through, yeah, great. I'm gonna go back.
I'm really happy to hear that. Like that's, yeah. I mean, I haven't played it yet, so I'm excited.
Oh, you're in for a treat.
Yeah.
You're in for a treat. It's definitely great. It's definitely great and very ambitious. From why I've like obviously speaking to you and then speaking to Paul last week and playing it myself, it's very ambitious and like there's eight endings, I believe, and I've obviously only unlocked the one, so I can't wait to see how it all plays out next.
Can I ask you which ending you got? Is that like or is that like a weird spoiler? I don't know.
I know I got the ending. No, I don't think it's a weird spoiler. You would know the ending. I got the ending where you and Reese get away, and he kind of sacrifices himself, and then yeah, and you've got the gun, and you drop it in the bushes outside,
and then run.
And then run, and then there's narration after it and about what the outcome is and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Cool. So okay, so you're a bit of a romantic. All right, I see you.
Yeah, I like that one. Yeah. I'll play through it again and see what happens next.
There's so many yeah, we should like the different ending choices. It's pretty cool. I'm excited for you to see the rest.
Yeah, I am too. I am
Cool.
too. Yeah, I'll see all 8 by the end of it, I'm sure. All right. So, right, you're known for the comedy series Letterkenny that we don't actually get over here. How does working on the Complex differ to working on that production?
I mean, Letterkenny is such a. I've been on the show now. We started filming almost 5 years ago, so I mean, it's a totally different thing. Like I started off in comedy as like a young actor in high school, like doing improv and stuff. So that was kind of my first love and my first moment of like, I really want to do this. Like I loved being on stage and I loved working with fellow comedians and stuff. Not that I'm a comedian, but I liked working with comedians. And yeah, but then when I started acting and like auditioning, the first things that I booked were, you know, heavy dramatic series or the horror movie that I mentioned before and sci-fi and stuff. So I've kind of like dipped my toe in both, and I like different genres for different reasons. I think the heavier stuff, it's a little bit more immersive for me personally as an actor because it's a bit it's demanding as far as like your emotional state. And the Complex was an interesting one because I was obviously so far away from home, so I had absolutely no distractions, and I was able to just completely get into this brand new world away from everything else. And it was so it was such long days, and it was like so much going on, and I think everyone felt the same way. We were just completely in this world, whereas Letterkenny, although it's a very specific world as well, it's such a well-oiled machine at this point. We all know each other super well, and we know our characters really well, and it's like, and we just have this rhythm, and it's, yeah, we just like go to work, and we know how to do it, and like, yeah, we're just, whereas like the Complex, when you do something like, especially like a film, you don't know everybody yet. You've got like a month or 2 months or whatever it is to like do this thing, and then you just leave and you like never see that group of people again really in the same way. So it's very different. I love both. I love comedy like Letterkenny. I really hope that the UK gets it.
Yeah, so do I.
Really,
I'm gonna have a look on YouTube, see if I can find some clips.
yeah. Oh, do it for sure. I mean, yeah, you can find anything online, so you could probably find it. But it's like, I'm so proud of that show. I'm so proud to be a part of it, and I love it, and I'm like a fan of it as well, which is really lucky. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, it's just different. Every project is really different, and the Complex was really, really special to me. It was a whirlwind, and I'll never ever forget it. That's for sure.
Awesome. Are there any other aspects of the film industry that you'd like to pursue?
Yeah, I mean, like all of it to a certain extent. I've been doing this now for like, I guess, really doing it, like working for like 6.5 years now, I would say. And it's always that thing of, you know, you want to push yourself as a performer. You want to take on different characters that maybe make you feel uncomfortable, or you've just never done before, and you want to work with all these different people, and you always want to continue to grow in anything you do. I mean, that's true for any job, I would imagine. It's like you kind of want to keep it moving and keep challenging yourself so that it doesn't become mundane or whatever. But I don't have those aspirations. I've never been the kind of person personally that wants to like go and be famous or like move to LA, or not that I'm against moving to LA. I love going there, but like, I just want to work on interesting projects with interesting people and continue that road and see where it takes me, I guess. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, and I mean, and the Canadian film industry is incredible. I mean, there's a lot of great stuff coming out of there. In fact, one of my favorite actresses is Catherine Isabel.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And she's known for the Ginger Snap series, and she and the
Yeah.
and she was in Insomnia as well. But yeah, I mean, I know her from the lower budget Canadian horrors that she was in.
Yeah. Oh,
Uh,
that's sweet. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really talented people in Canada. I mean, there's a lot of talented people everywhere, that's for sure. But yeah, the industry in Canada, it's ever growing, and it's people are starting to you know, put money into Canadian projects, hiring Canadian crew and Canadian performers and stuff. And yeah, it's cool to see what's coming out of the country.
Absolutely, and most of the CW shows are shot over in Canada anyway.
Yeah, in Vancouver, most
Yeah,
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 yeah. There's
most.
a lot of American projects that shoot in Canada. So, have you been to Canada? It's very
I
beautiful.
haven't. I haven't, unfortunately. I do have family over there,
Okay,
over in Canada, but I haven't actually been, unfortunately. I would like to go though.
yeah, one day you got to come to the
One-
West Coast. It's very beautiful if you like nature. It's very
Cool.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yep, put that on the list.
put it on the list.
Absolutely. So yeah. Right, you have an eclectic range of credits. Are there any genres that you haven't done yet that you'd like to?
Ooh, I'm interested in the multicam world because that's speaking of we were talking about Friends earlier, as like a comfy show. I think that the element of like film with theater elements, I know that that's like it's like a whole other world, and there's a lot of like technical things that you have to learn. As far as just like working with cameras and specific timing, I've always been interested in trying that out. But yeah, I don't know. I wanna do it all, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have like a specific genre that I'm like itching to do because I feel like yeah, not that I've like done all the genres or anything like that, but I've definitely like I haven't just stuck to comedy or just stuck to drama or horror, thriller, whatever. But you know what? I would like to do a rom com. There is a part of me that would really like to do a rom com. Who am I kidding?
Brilliant.
Sign me up. Sign me up. I'll do it. Yeah.
Great. I'm sure Hallmark they do some great films during Christmas.
Oh yeah.
I watch those. I like them. I really do. I just watch them over Christmas, or whenever.
I've never watched Hallmark stuff.
Really?
Never. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're
Yeah.
good.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy them.
Yeah, it's fine. It's like light.
Yeah.
Just kind of turn it on and like feel nice, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like even Netflix have been doing that like recently with some of their Christmas offerings, like the Christmas Prince and the Princess Switch and stuff like that. So
Cool.
and even Christmas Chronicles. That was really cool. With Kurt Russell, that was great.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I need to. God,
It's on Netflix.
I'm behind on my Christmas movies. Jeez. I just like at Christmas I stick with the classics. I watch like Home Alone and The Grinch and Nightmare Before Christmas and stuff.
Well, those are great too.
Yeah.
Those are great too. All right. So where are we? All right. So you worked with great core of talent. Just on the complex alone, like you've got Kate Dickey and Al Weaver and everyone. Do you have a wish list of who you'd like to work with?
Ooh, Denzel Washington. He's my like top. I'm such a crazy fan of him. I believe everything he does. So yeah, Denzel for sure. Kristen Wiig. I would love to work with her. Tina Fey. I would love to work with Amy Poehler. Like Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Like I love the comedy ladies. I mean Meryl Streep is like the low-hanging fruit. Like who doesn't want to work with her? Yeah, I don't know. I'm such a fan of so many actors. Yeah, those are my tops off the top of my head.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do that one. Fandoms are a big part of the industry. Who or what are you a fan of?
I'm a big fan of Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter was a big one. I mean, as far as like individuals, I was like really obsessed, an unhealthily amount of obsession with Eminem growing up. He was like my favorite person, and like I had posters of him above my bed, much to my parents' dismay. Uh, I don't know. I'm not like. I mean, like Nathan. Do you know who Nathan Fielder is? You ever watched Nathan For You?
No, I haven't, unfortunately.
He's Canadian, but he's got this show called Nathan For You. And I think he's like one of those people, and I guess he's kind of niche, but he's also pretty well known. You should watch Nathan For You. It's a really strange show.
Okay.
He's a really talented comedian. But I think he's somebody that if I were to meet him, I would kind of lose my shit over. But yeah, I think I don't know. Like I'm not like a crazy, but Harry Potter is pretty. I get into that for sure.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Harry Potter. I've seen all the films. I haven't read the books, but I have seen all the films.
Yeah, I've read the books and seen the films a few times.
Sure. Yeah. There was one Christmas where I just put on. I've got a Harry Potter box set on DVD, and I just put on every single film one after the other.
Yeah, I think that's on my quarantine list of things to do. It's like have like a Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings too. I really fuck with Lord of the Rings. Yeah, big time. Like that. Those movies for me. See, but I haven't read Lord of the Rings, which makes me kind of a poser. I've read The Hobbit, but I haven't read Lord of the Rings. But I love the movies, and that's a good. Maybe that's the watch that I do, like a Lord of the Rings marathon.
Yeah.
Those are amazing.
Yeah. Why not? Absolutely. Yeah. Why not? We've got plenty of time at the minute. All right. Is there a book that you're a fan of that hasn't been adapted to Netflix or something that you'd like to be a part of?
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, I don't know why this is the first book that popped into my mind, and it's a book that I read when I was really young. It's kind of like a teen book. It's called Janie's Girl, and it's just sort of like a young girl's love and lost story. And I don't know, for some reason it really like struck me as a young like 13-year-old. And I just think that'd be a good one. That'd be a good one. And maybe, yeah, I don't know, maybe I think probably I'm too old to be cast in it, but maybe I could be a part of it, produce it or direct it or something. Yeah,
Okay.
That's a good one. Janie's Girl. It's a cute story.
Yeah. Cool. And with the popularity of streaming services like Netflix and Disney Plus, what do you think the future of cinema is?
Ooh. I mean, obviously, like things are moving to streaming services because that's the way that people get their fix now with movies and TV, and it makes sense because it's nice if you have the time to like sit down. It's also changing kind of the way that TV especially is filmed because you don't have like a week of waiting, like it has to like flow into the next because people watch it back to back to back like a film. But that being said, it is sort of sad that going to the theater or the cinema could potentially be lost because there is something really amazing about going and being with a group of people and having like an emotional ride with a bunch of strangers and not being on your phone, not being distracted with just going there to like enjoy a film. That is something that you can't really replace. Have you seen Get Out?
No.
Have you not seen Get Out?
No, I'm not very good with horror films.
Oh my gosh, it's so good and it's funny too. But that movie for me was like the latest or the most recent experience where I went into a movie theater and I was like, the fact that I watched this in a movie theater with all these people, and we all had this incredible emotional response at the same times. Like people were yelling and like standing up and like no, and like completely immersed, and that was like so special and like kind of emotional as well. It was just like such a cool experience, and it wasn't only the fact that the movie was so great, because it is so great, but it was also just the shared experience of it, and I hope that that's never lost on people and younger generations coming up, because that is like, you know, what watching movies really is kind of all about.
Absolutely. And just before I let you go, the complex is obviously released today everywhere. I think was it PC, PlayStation, Steam, Mac, PC, everywhere.
Yeah.
What are you hoping the audience will take away from the film once they get a chance to play it?
Right. I mean, I hope that, again, like, this is a really strange time that we're all experiencing together, and it's hard on people's mental health. It's hard on people's spirit. It's like hard on people financially for a lot who can't work or whatever their situation is. And I hope if they do decide that they want to play it, that it just gives them some, you know, escape into another world. And also, like, you know, when things like this are going on the planet that you feel like very out of control, you know, we don't have any control over what is going on, and we can't control the outcome. In this movie, it's kind of fun to have that control, especially because it's a very similar topic, which is kind of strange, the timing of this, but yeah, I think it'll be fun. I just hope it's fun for people. I hope that they have a good time playing it, and then it like makes them forget about whatever troubles they're feeling at the moment. That's what I hope.
Absolutely. And what have you got coming up that you're looking forward to getting back to doing?
Well, I so Letterkenny, which I mentioned earlier, we were doing our first North American live tour, which is myself and then the 8 other like lead characters. We have a live show where it's like we're in character and we're doing like brand new scenes, but you know, live, like in a theater or whatever. So we were on a bus tour. We'd done 9 shows, and we were supposed to do 30 more, maybe 40 more shows, like all across North America, starting in PEI and ending in Los Angeles. Yeah, we only got 9 shows in, and then the coronavirus became extremely serious, and we had to go home. So it cut it all short, which was disappointing for us and disappointing for the people that, you know, bought tickets to come in and see it. So I'm really excited for that to pick up again whenever that is safe to do so. And then also we're supposed to go back to filming in August, and I'm hoping that continues. Again, it like everything feels really up in the air, so it's hard to say, but I'm hopeful that both those things happen this year. So we'll see.
That's all we can do. That's all we can do at the moment is hope and get by the best we can. So
Exactly.
It's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today.
Thank you for
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
yeah. It was, I mean, with the PR company, when I was speaking to them, like when they told me that like I had the opportunity, it was like, yeah, I have to speak to Michelle. She's the lead. So yeah, thank you for being so generous with your time.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it. I mean, we have time, and I love talking movies, so this is great. It's been really fun for me. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, you look after yourself. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for more content next time.
How do I save them both?
here on the largest of the Balearic Islands, Mallorca. With the turquoise waters of the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful mountainous landscape, the thriving city of Palma, quaint little market towns, a growing number of luxury hotels, it's no surprise that the likes of Audrey Hepburn and Elizabeth Taylor like to holiday here. So come and join me as I take you round Mallorca.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.